morning, everybody. This is Michelle with Creative Operation and Country Craft Creations. I have a design team project that I wanted to share with you. Y'all have already seen this book. This is my Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Barry Fields album that I did, the big 10 by 10 album that I did, and I had published that a little bit ago. Turned out absolutely gorgeous, and I love it. It's huge, it's big, it has lots of space for things. But I decided that I wanted to do a smaller version of this book. So what I ended up doing was creating this book, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So I've already done a walkthrough of this. I've already done the tutorial on this. And I'll tell you, there is not going to be like a separate tutorial for this one because I did everything exactly the same, except for it's just smaller sizes. So what I'm going to do is walk through this with you, and then I'm going to put all of the cut lists down below. So you can go ahead and make it. It uses the exact same tutorial for this on how you put it together. It's just smaller pieces to make this album. I hope that makes sense. So the construction will be with this album, show you how to put the pages together. It's really super simple, but I'll have the information down in the description for this one. So what I ended up using were the papers from Country Craft Creations called Stars and Stripes. I'm trying to find the cover paper for this so you can see I used part of it for this album, and I'll show you that in a minute. But this was put out, I want to say in 21, and it was an 8x8 pack. And so what I ended up doing was making an 8x8 version of my 10 by 10 Barry Fields album. So this one I did the cover with this beautiful stripes and florals and everything. I had the white flowers and the blue flowers. These were, what were they? 49 in market. The blue ones were graphic 45, and did that for the cover. This is one of the cut aparts here, and I backed it on red, white, and blue, basically. So this is Artisan Red Cardstock Natural, and then navy that I used. I used navy for the base of this. It turned out absolutely gorgeous. So there's the front cover. On the spine, I'll open this up so you can see it. On the spine, I used this scrap of paper that I had, and then I have this cute little cut apart with the dog on the spine. Just left it pretty simple. And then on the back, I did a little cut apart here, backed with a little bit of blue Artisan to kind of make it pop against all the stripes. So that is the cover of this book. And let's go through. I'll show you the inside, and we'll just kind of walk through what it looks like. Let me make sure we're in frame, and we are. So again, this is exactly the same as the 10 by 10 Barry Fields version. It's just in an 8 by 8 format. So the album itself is 8 by 8 with a 2.5-inch spine, and then the pages are 7.5 by 7.5. The only difference that I did with any of the measurements was that instead of a 5/8 inch gusset, I did a 1/2 inch gusset. I figured that was probably, excuse me, small and perfect enough for this particular album. But as the previous album, we have this front folio flip. So it has picture opportunity here. I used some scraps and the cut aparts to kind of divide that section up. And I did that above and below. And then on the side to side, I did this. I did back one of the cardstocks in a little scrap of red and made it so you could tuck a little picture or whatever behind that. So that is the folio part on the inside front cover. And then, as you recall from the previous tutorial, we have this page here that has a lot of interactions. So we have this pocket here with some tags, and then we have a waterfall here. I did size the waterfall down, obviously, so they're 4x4 pages. And then on this one here, I ended up just leaving all of the pages blank here. And I was kind of afraid I was going to run out of paper. And so that's why I ended up doing that. But, and I'll tell you, I'll put a picture in right now. This is all that I have left over for making this album. Okay, so I did that, and then I just put the gusset pieces in for the waterfall. So you have lots of opportunity for pictures. You have places behind. So as you also recall, you could put pictures behind, but then also, you know, in the pocket. But then I have a tag here, and the back of that I just left blank, and then a cut apart, and then I just used one of the leftover cut aparts, backed it on a piece of leftover cardstock, and then just added that in there. So there's that. The booklet that is behind is a 6x12 piece of paper that I just folded in half to fit the page. So that is the booklet that tucks behind this pocket. And then I did also add the big tag. So I used the pattern paper on front, left it pretty plain for photos and whatnot, and then left the black back of it empty. So I'll just put that to the side here for just a second. So that's the first page. The second page, now as you recall in the other album, it was a layout page. And in this paper collection, there were these papers that were perfect for just putting it on there, and then you can add pictures as you want. So that's what I did. I just used one piece of paper, put it on there, done, boom, good to go. So I did that. And then you'll also see that I tried to mimic all of the pages throughout. So the next page here is the slider page. So that opens up like that, and then that tucks out. I left these blank because, again, I was kind of afraid of running out of papers, and I ended up kind of not having a whole lot left over, so I was glad I did that. So that is another option. In the Berry book, I did put pattern paper behind. Excuse me, but I had more paper to do that with. So there you go. So this is the double gatefold. So again, I used natural cardstock here, and then I just used the cut aparts. And then as you can see, I did the cut apart so that you could tuck a picture underneath there. So it kind of divides it up into two areas. And then it opens up again. And then you have this nice picture opportunity here. And then it closes and tucks like that. Turn the page, and then this is the page that has the pockets on one side and then photo mat opportunity on the other side. The other cool thing about the paper packs that come from Country Craft Creations is that you get 3 pieces of the papers for every single pattern. I couldn't spit it out. So anyway, I used this page here, and then on the back of this I used it again for the layout page, but then I was also able to use that page and create a layout here and then on the back of here by cutting that page in half and using it. So that's how I use that page. On this side here you have pockets, so you have a big tag and then you have another smaller tag here. And then I used half of a piece of paper, cut out the bottom part first to cover this, and then divided the remainder of that page into 2, and then that's how I layered those pockets there. And then these tags just simply go in like that. And again, natural cardstock here for that. And then it repeats. So page 1 and 2 repeat with page 3 and 4. So we have another waterfall. Here we have 2 extra cut aparts. Ooh, I got that one upside down. Just on a couple pieces of scrap red artisan. We have one of the little 3x4 tags here, and then we have another tag here. And on these tags, I also used all the little cut aparts, but I did it so that you could tuck a picture behind. The backs are blank, and then another waterfall, so you can see it just repeats. And then you can put your tags in here. And you can also, like the other one, you can use the, the pocket underneath, and then you can use this. And the purpose of these is to help keep that part closed. Here is my other booklet. And again, this is just a 6x12 piece of paper that I scored at 6 and created the nice little photo mat booklet here. Oh, I didn't show you this. The tag for the second page is smaller, or I should say narrower. And then on this page here, the tag is again another big tag. Okay, so lots of places to put your photos. And then you turn the page, you have another layout page, we have another slider page, and I'll just open this up and show you real quick. So I did try to mimic the papers and use the same papers, but the cut aparts are a little bit different, so you can see that. And then let's close that up. Then the back here, the other pocket page with the other tag and the other little cut aparts here. And then on the back inside cover is the gusseted pocket. And then I included 2 more tags in that. And then there's a lot of room in here, so you could really load that up. The tag that goes into the 4th and last page is that. And again, on the back is like that. So this is my recreation to the 8x8 size of this particular album. And the original album was my 10x10 Berry Fields album that I just did as a design team project. So the tutorial on actually how to put the elements together is here. I'll put the measurements for the smaller size in the description down below for this one, which is using Stars and Stripes by Country Craft Creations. So thanks for watching, and I will be back soon with more tutorials. Stay crafty and have a great day. Bye-bye.